It was a mixed bag day for the Aam Aadmi Party today. Two big moments. One, two leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party have got bail, Vijay Nair and Bibhav Kumar. But also Amanat Ullah Khan has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate today. He was arrested, what the ED says, in connection with the alleged irregularities in the appointment to the Delhi Waqf Board and leasing out its properties believed to be hundreds of crores. His arrest was followed by dramatic scenes from the ED's raid on his Delhi residence this morning. He was arrested by probe agencies after 6 hours of questioning. Aam Aadmi Party leaders rallied behind Amanatullah, condemning the ED action. The BJP, however, trained its guns in the party.
और काम क्या इनका अरेस्ट करना अरे सब मालूम है बेकसूर।
उन्होंने वो पैसा जो वक्फ बोर्ड के लिए, जो समाज के जन कल्याण के लिए लगना था, उस पैसे का गमन करा, उस पैसे का मिसयूज करा। आम आदमी पार्टी की पुरानी आदत है कि वो प्रचार प्रसार और भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त हैं, लोगों के लिए कोई काम नहीं कर रहे, अपनी जेबें भरने पे ध्यान जरूर दे रहे हैं और त्राहिमाम कर कर लोगों को भ्रमित कर रहे हैं। अमानतुल्लाह खान जी की जवाबदेही बनती है। ये रेड आज जो उनके घर पर हुई है, उनके प्रेमिसेस में हुई है, ये सिर्फ एक जायज लीगल स्टेप है।
All right, the latest news break coming in on the story. The Delhi court has reserved its order on the ED plea seeking 10-day custody of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan in the money laundering case. That's the latest that we are getting in, that the ED had arrested Amanatullah Khan, what they believe were bunglings in the Waqf land and subletting of the same. Meanwhile, the Delhi court has reserved the order on the ED plea seeking a 10-day 10-day ED custody of AAP MLA Amanatullah Khan. Meanwhile, Amanatullah Khan arrested by the ED, but massive relief coming in for the Aam Aadmi Party. Two of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders were given bail today after spending months in jail. After Manish Sisodia, to get bail is Vijay Nair, who spent 23 months in jail, as well as Bibhav Kumar, who has got bail after 4 months in the Swati Maliwal case. Both cases very different. The Supreme Court granted bail to Bibhav Kumar in the Swati Maliwal case with the condition that he will not associate or even visit the Chief Minister's office, while Nair will walk out in the alleged Delhi liquor scam, with the Supreme Court stating that the right to liberty is sacrosanct, and Nair has already spent 23 months behind bars, still awaiting trial, which was promised by the Enforcement Directorate to take place in 4 to 6 months of time.
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने विजय नायर को 22 महीने बाद बेल ग्रांट कर दी है। एक ऐसा केस जिस केस का कोई न सर है न कोई पैर है, कोई एविडेंस उनके खिलाफ नहीं थी, और 22 महीने एक ऐसे कार्यकर्ता जो कि कर्मठ कार्यकर्ता जिसको पूरी तरीके से प्रताड़ित किया गया, उसके बावजूद वो नहीं डरा। आम आदमी पार्टी को आज कार्यकर्ताओं में एक नया जोश है कि हमारा एक ऐसा कार्यकर्ता जो सच्चा और बिल्कुल निडर होकर उन्होंने 22 महीने इस प्रताड़ना को सहन किया, फाइनली आज उनको जस्टिस मिला है। इसके लिए मैं तहे दिल से सुप्रीम कोर्ट का धन्यवाद करता हूं। जय हिंद।
I can't comment on that. That is obviously a matter in court, and I'm sure that the Supreme Court would have had justification to do that.
All right, joining me right now for more on both these developments for the Aam Aadmi Party, Shreya Chatterjee, tracking the Enforcement Directorate, as well as Kumar Kunal, joining us live from Delhi on what this means in terms of implication for the Aam Aadmi Party, especially to have two of its key strategists now out on bail, coming in right after Manish Sisodia, and in the next 5 days, you have Arvind Kejriwal's hearing coming up in Supreme Court. Shreya, coming to you first, explain to our viewers, the ED has now arrested Amanatullah Khan. However, the lower court has reserved the order on the 10-day plea of custody by the ED. What are the charges against Amanatullah Khan?
Well, Preeti, this is pertaining to the alleged Waqf board scam, where there were irregularities in the dealing of the properties of the Waqf board. Now, he was earlier questioned by the ED, but after that, he evaded summons, after which there was also, what actually ED moved court against, and that simultaneously, when the court also refused to give a restraining order, we are seeing this action on Amanatullah Khan. Today, the ED has sought to 10 days custody. The major reason they are suggesting that they suspect destruction of evidence. The phone of Amanatullah Khan allegedly was also not with him when he was arrested. So these are the reasons cited by the agency. Whether the court will find it justified once the order comes out, we will get to know. But that order on that matter has already been reserved.
All right. Shreya, coming right back to you. Kunal also with us. Kunal, what's really interesting is for the Aam Aadmi Party, the ED setback of the arrest of Amanatullah Khan on one side, but to have two of its key strategists now out on bail will be a huge shot in the arm, especially coming at the back of Manish Sisodia getting bail. Then you have Vijay Nair, who was the first one from the party to get arrested in the alleged liquor scam, already spent 23 months in jail, walking out on bail today. Then in a completely unrelated case, you have Bibhav Kumar, who of course, in the Swati Maliwal assault case, walking out on bail. And in the next 5 days, you have Arvind Kejriwal's hearing up in Supreme Court for bail.
And that is the major reason why, Preeti, there is much hope in the AAP camp. And they believe that all the charges which are coming through the ED and the CBI are falling flat, especially at the Supreme Court, and they are getting relief from Supreme Court. So in the same way, Arvind Kejriwal will also get some relief in 5 days' time. And it is coming at a crucial juncture as Haryana is going to election on 5th October. And if Arvind Kejriwal will come out of jail, then it will be a big boost for party chances in Haryana, because what Arvind Kejriwal normally claims that he is son of soil for Haryana. And not just Haryana. Delhi Assembly elections are also due in 4 to 5 months. And hence, all these three, Vijay Nair, Bibhav, and Arvind Kejriwal, these three are key strategists in different departments, handling different departments, they have different kind of what you will say, the role in the party. And that's why coming out of Vijay Nair, Bibhav, and hope for Arvind Kejriwal is a big boost in the election season for Aam Aadmi Party.
Appreciate you joining us, Kunal, as well as my colleague Shreya. Thank you. We're going to come back to you for more updates on that story. Meanwhile, let's also cut across to the other big development that came in from the top court of the country today, bulldozer justice, now at the Supreme Court's door. The apex court came down heavily against this method of justice, saying a person's house cannot be taken down just because he may have been convicted or accused. The Supreme Court bench maintained that it's only when a structure is illegal that it can be demolished. Here's more.
An illegal multi-story complex allegedly belonging to rape-accused Samajwadi Party Neta in Ayodhya being razed to the ground a couple of weeks ago. On Monday, the Supreme Court, hearing a bunch of pleas against this so-called bulldozer justice, said that it will issue pan-India guidelines. A bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and K.V. Vishwanath observed that a house cannot be demolished even if the person has been convicted. Justice K.V. Vishwanath said that nobody should take advantage of lacunas that a father may have a recalcitrant son, but if house is demolished on this ground, this is not the way to go about it. The court said that such demolition can happen only if the structure is illegal. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who was appearing for the centre and BJP-ruled state, said that bulldozer action is taken only if there are municipal law violations. To which the Supreme Court responded that looking at the complainants, the top court felt that there was a breach.
अगर कोई मकान, दुकान या कोई निर्माण कार्य किसी अवैध स्थान पर है, अतिक्रमण करके बनाया गया है, नियमों का उल्लंघन करके बनाया गया है, तो निश्चित तौर पर उस अतिक्रमण को गिराया जाएगा। बुलडोजर की यह कार्रवाई विधि की परिधि के दायरे में हुई है।
आज सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने जो तीखी टिप्पणी बुलडोजर के मामले में करी है, ये दिखाता है कि ये किस तरह से गैर संवैधानिक, गैर कानूनी तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार काम कर रही थी और चुन चुन कर मुसलमानों को, ब्राह्मण्स को निशाना बना रही थी। हम आशा करते हैं सर्वोच्च न्यायालय से कि जो इस पे गाइडलाइन आएगी, इस तरह के किसी भी कार्रवाई पर इमीडिएट रोक लगे।
Over the past few years, several state governments have demolished houses and properties belonging to those involved in serious crimes. The Supreme Court posted the matter for hearing on September 17th. With Kanu Sharda in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, another developing story, especially the kind of Me Too storm that we are seeing in the state of Kerala at the back of the Justice Hema report. Now, it's even seeped into politics. The Kerala unit of the Congress expelled its leader, Simi Rosebell John, hours after she accused the Grand Party of having a casting couch similar to the one in the industry. Kerala Congress has said that it expelled Simi Rosebell from primary membership of the party for insulting female leaders before the media. The BJP, of course, has hit back at the Congress.
Sexual harassment storm explodes in Kerala. At a time when the state's film industry is grappling with allegations of sexual harassment, the heat is now on politicians. In a startling accusation, Simi Rosebell, a Congress leader from Ernakulam, claimed that women within the party faced exploitation. Rosebell alleged that there was casting couch like sex exploitation in the Congress. She alleged that top Congress leaders sought sexual favors for giving plum party posts. Rosebell claimed that female members are often required to endure exploitation to gain opportunities.
ഈ പാർട്ടിയിൽ അന്തസ്സും അഭിമാനവും ആഭിജാത്യവുമുള്ള വനിതകൾക്ക് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. നിരാലംബയും വിധവയും ദുർബലയുമാണ് ഒരു സ്ത്രീയെ ഇവർക്ക് ചവിട്ടി താഴ്ത്തുവാൻ കിട്ടിയ ഈ അവസരം ഇവർ മുതലാക്കി.
The Congress rubbished Rosebell's accusations. She was expelled from the Grand Old Party after her controversial remarks.
Somebody is trying to dilute the major issues. I am not ready to answer. I have answered to the media yesterday, nothing more. You ask the PCC president, he is the person took action against her.
I don't want to necessarily be...
The BJP has hit out at the Congress government over the expulsion of Rosebell.
This lady who is a leader of this Congress accused them and filed a complaint of sexual harassment, and instead of having that complaint investigated by the Congress party, she is summarily dismissed. Before every election, they will say, ladki hoon, lad sakti hoon. Rahul Gandhi will talk about constitutional rights. But as soon as the elections are over, the true picture and the true color of the Congress comes out.
The controversy that has erupted amidst the Me Too storm sweeping Mollywood has come as a big embarrassment for the Congress.
Congress leader Simi Rosebell John's allegation that similar situations exist in the party has put the party in the state in a fix. The Congress in Kerala has dismissed these allegations, calling it baseless, and has expelled her officially from the party, while the BJP questions the silence of the top leadership of the party. With video journalist Tinku Rajshekhar, Shubhi Molkeji for India Today from Thiruvananthapuram.
All right, moving on to the flood fury being faced by the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. 26 NDRF teams are now deployed for flood relief and rescue operations in the state of Telangana and Andhra. 19 deaths have been reported so far. Andhra Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu's house at Udavali has also been submerged with flood waters entering the locality. In Vijayawada, power boats were pressed into action after streets were seen flooded with water. Residents had to wade through flooded waters. In Telangana's Khammam, railway authorities now have begun track restoration efforts near the railway stations where hundreds of trains were cancelled after floods caused significant damage to the railway line connecting Warangal and Khammam. Teams are now carrying out rescue operations in the worst-hit regions. Revant Reddy in Telangana too took stock of the situation and held a review meet of relief and rescue operations being carried out. Here's more.
Very heavy rains for the past 2 days have caused devastating effect in the border areas of the Telugu state, especially in the areas of Khammam, Suryapet and Vijayawada. We are right now at one such border area where the Paleru River, the swelling of this particular river has caused a lot of devastating effect. As you can see, the flow, the intensity of flow of this river was very high for the past 24 hours, which have caused this effect here. This bridge that connects Andhra Pradesh and Telangana had caved in at this point, wherein the traffic is said to be at halt for the past 24 hours. More than 12 to 13 kilometers long traffic, where the people are awaiting that restoration work here to be done, and very soon the highway will be operational for both the states. So here, as we see, Chief Minister Revanth Reddy had visited this particular point where this effect of this particular devastation has led to crop damage on one side. Several villages in and around this Paleru banks of the Paleru stream have inundated in water. Now that the water is receding, people are getting back to their locations. But Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has said that 5 lakh rupees will be given, has been announced for the deceased who have lost their lives in this particular floods. Reportedly, 8 to 9 people from Telangana have lost their life in the floods that had taken place in Khammam, Suryapet area and the other parts of Telangana. Wherein in Andhra Pradesh, the Chief Minister is right now inspecting all the rescue operations, where he had stated that more than 2.76 lakh people have been affected in Vijayawada due to the floods, and several other are, the crop and property damage is yet to be ascertained. 8 people have lost their life in Andhra Pradesh state only in this particular flood that had taken place yesterday till today morning. Now that the water is receding, people are getting back to their houses. With all the devastation that is caused, it is to be seen what would be the further course of action of the authorities and what would be the measures taken for these kind of incidents to not repeat again. With camera person Damodar, Abdul Bashir, Kodad.
We're here at the Varadi Bridge connecting between Vijayawada and Tadipalli, and this is the situation on ground with the water levels that have increasingly risen over the last couple of days. Entire low-lying areas in and around this area here has been completely inundated with water. Several people had to abandon their houses as well as water kept increasing and coming into these areas. In fact, we're also getting to learn that rescue operations are underway, and NDRF teams have come in across various locations trying to help people those are in need, not only over here but also across various districts. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu is also taking stock of the situation. In fact, he has also been on the ground, visited several low-lying areas and has been trying to see what kind of help and assistance can be provided to the people, be it food, water or any kind of medical assistance that is needed. The state has also put out helpline numbers for people to contact, those in need of medical or any other sort of emergency, and calls have been continuously pouring in these helpline numbers that have been given. As the state continues to fall back on what has been going on in these rains, as several areas lie inundated and people waiting for help and rescue in several areas, this remains to be the condition, as luckily over the last 24 hours there hasn't been heavy rains in and across various districts here in Andhra Pradesh. With video journalist Prasad, Apurva Jayachandran, India.
Some great news coming in from the Paralympics in Paris. Nitish Kumar has won the Paralympic gold for India. Well, this gold for Nitish comes in the badminton SL3 event. The second gold for India in 2024 Paralympics. The IIT graduate winning the gold in Paralympics. Nitish has beaten Britain's Daniel Gettel. Fabulous news coming in from the Paralympics in Paris.